So, if you're just joining, this is FRESHTEADESIGN 360. My name is Taz, and welcome to the afternoon where we can just hang out and have a little bit of fun. We get into some more details in a minute, but thank you so much for joining right now. And the topic we were basically on is something that we're picking up on that we left off today on. However, we were talking about creative ideas and building and generating new ideas and how to compound it and how it works at times. And so sometimes it might be just different imaginations, and then you just answer the question that your imagination asks you at times. So few interesting topics I've touched on earlier today. If just for a good recap, if you're just joining in with the stream right here, we touched a program and it says, I was talking about how each and every one of us, both international and domestic, have and has that person within our life that would consider the rose that grew from the concrete. So that was an interesting topic for me. And so when I connect that with, would you say to yourself, Jonah, Moses, some of the guys that was in part of the disciples would be considered, a few of those guys would be considered the rose that grew from the concrete, the rose that grew from the concrete. And when you see a business owner here in America that's migrants or immigrants, and this tradition been building for years and generation, and would you say these ones that are the rose that grew from the concrete, would you say in your words, again, would you say in your words that these are the Moses, and this can best connect with some other groups and different nations, because different ways how people got here from different countries. If they came on a ship and they can connect this now to what I'm saying, can you imagine the impact that this would have on your life right now if they are the rose that grew from the concrete, and if they are the Moses on the river, and they are the driftwood that becomes something out of nothing, And so what I am extremely happy about is the fact that maybe someone can connect to this and it makes sense to them, and so and understand what it means and what it signifies, because using even Moses as a pillar that can also demonstrate the courage. And so it's not just from a wide perspective. So using Moses as an example also demonstrate a little bit more and a little bit better of who this character is and who you are as that character that was on the river. And like I said, you can find this type of person in whatever basketball sports. There was and there is a flower that grew from the concrete. In track and field, there's a flower that grew from the concrete. In soccer, there is also football, there's also a flower that grew from the concrete. In rugby, there's also a flower that grew from the concrete. And would you say, combining all these different activities and sports, would you say there is a person that is from that process? When I say process, I'm emphasizing and just stating on the Moses in the basket, the driftwood that's on the river. What would you call Sorry again, the allergy get me. What would you say about that situation? How do you see that in this way? But those are some of the most standout things for me to make a connection with that. We're coming from a connection where we talked about the trees with no leaves, and in that way some people could connect and understand what we were saying. And then I talked about the two leaves without trees, and the two leaves without trees is something, and it's a event, and it's a moment. I saw two people on the street one day, and they were sharing a smoke, and they were struggling, but they were struggling together, and they were fighting together, and they were doing it together, and they were walking together. And was they also, or is at some point, would their life be changed into someone new and becomes the person or the individual of the Moses in the basket going down the river on the stream? In every work sector, in every group, in every category, you can find, in every sports, in every leading department, you can find a Moses there that came down the stream in a basket. It's an unbelievable story to you. How do you see it, and how do you view it? Earlier today, I touched on how wonderful and how amazing it is not only to see Steve Harvey, not only to see Jakes in expressing that to the young black man and woman, but when you look on George Lopez and all others in different religion, different ethnic group, also illustrate and demonstrate the same kind of teaching. And it may not necessarily be just that preaching be in from like a preaching perspective. It can be a sports perspective, it can be a leader perspective, it can be many different perspectives in this way, how it can happen and how it can go about and how we can change and we can build on it and keep continuing to teach from different culture and different ethnic group. Anyway, basically we were talking about the game, and so I know you're waiting for that game. So yeah, I was basically, after creating those things, like creating the sauce and went through all the works and all the job and all the different method and ways I went through to accomplish the flavor and the taste I was looking for. And then I got to this point, and I'm sure your whole life is amazing. I got to this point, and then I discovered Earl Nightingale. And Earl Nightingale was like, okay, listen, one of his things that I could remember him saying was like, first you got to establish whatever is it that you choose to do. You got to establish what it is. But prior to listening to that, I already established and did what my thoughts were set out to do. So that just only concretes and cover the topic of, well, establishing the goal, establishing the prototype first is what really makes sense. And so that's awesome to know, and that's grateful to know. However, moving forward, I just draw the board, and I was thinking how wonderful and how unique it would be for little boys and little girls to play on this, and it would be something that I created or had